I started off like studying in business, in a sense that just follow the crowd, just follow the normal route, which is finance. So at that moment of time, I really don't know what and why I'm doing this. At that moment of time, I just thought, how can I be cool at that age lah? I don't know. This when I'm young lah. Right now, I still don't understand why I have that kind of thought, which is kind of naive. But that time I just like to be cool, look cool, and how to be cool, a cool finance guy. So that's when I sort of find like what are the areas that I can look cool. So I think it's an exploratory process that even if you don't know, you should start looking up. Rather than, I'm not sure yet, you start looking out. So what I done is like I watch movie lah. So what are the most famous finance movies? Are all the stock brokerage movies lah. So you have like in Hong Kong drama, there's a drama called Da Sidai. It's not your age, but it's all about stock brokerage. Okay, that's when I land my first job as stockbroker. Yeah. So to say that when I find this, I will stick it all the way. Yeah, because when you are in a role, when you're in a job, there are some things that might fit or might not fit. So I find I might not fit in the job, the so-called role that I'm in. So that's when I pivot to tech, and I start learning about like product management. I start to learn about how to build all those operations and stuff. And that's when I have an opportunity to start out a company with my current co-partner lah. I would say don't be fixated in what you think this is the thing that I want to do. More of like being open to explore, because maybe sometime down the road you'll find content creation is your thing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so it's a thing whereby always being open and explore and keep learning new things. Yeah, I think one of the key factors right now, if you talk about like qualities or whatever, is really the ability of keep learning. Yeah. For myself, if I look at my peers, right, some of the peers that I met with, like their learning route start to like dwindle down. But in this day and age, I would say with AI, right now I need to learn how to use ChatGPT, or even without ChatGPT, how can I make use of all the different like so-called Perplexity, Claude, DeepSeek. There's so much thing coming up. If don't catch up with all this, right? Yeah, it kind of bored lah, I would say. Yeah. So keep yourself open, keep looking for new things to learn. Yeah. This make life more interesting, right? Yeah. So when you say work-life balance, what do you mean? Yeah. So it's like yeah, for me the balance is like there's always new stuff that I can continue to learn, to explore. That's the fun thing that I really look forward to lah. Yeah.
Well, for me, I think I've gone through 3 careers right now. When I first started out, I was a BSET student. I majored in finance. I knew I wanted to go banking, and I managed to get in. I was working in banking for about 15 years in various banks. Then later on, I became very interested in real estate investments. So what I did was that I went for a EMBA course at Tsinghua, and from there learned how to entrepreneurship skills. And with that, I set up a real estate investment advisory company. But then if you look at it, right, the skill sets there's still a lot of overlap in terms of in banking and financing real estate. Right now, I went to the other side to be a buyer of real estate, investor of real estate. Then right now, I'm in my 3rd career, whereby I am now serving in the community service. Then you ask yourself, then what is it's so very
what's
different.
The relation?
Yes, that's so different. I mean, I'm the same person, but I went through 3 career switches, 2 different career switches. So from banking to real estate, and right now to community service. But along each of them, you ask me what is my calling. I think my identity is still the same, because I'm a very analytical person. I'm always analyze data driven, look at numbers, analyze situations, plan strategy. So from banking, that's what is required in banking. A lot of analytical skills, like analyzing downsides. What can go wrong when you give a loan? And then from there, you go to real estate. It's the same set of skill sets. Like when you buy a property, what can go wrong? right? And then you go into, right now, the social service sector. I serve in a number of boards. And these are the same skill sets again: strategy, understanding your market, how do you market yourselves, and how do you prospect for funding, asking for donations. So these skill sets is transferable. So I don't have to have a certain mindset that, oh, I'm in this industry means I have to be there from beginning to end. Like what Irene also shared, right? You actually along the way you pivot. And I think that right now in our generation, I mean, it took me 30 years to pivot to 3 industries, but I look at the trend right now in the tech space, right? It's going to be much faster. It's like right now we are still we are going into the digital space, and that trajectory is much shorter and much faster. So you can think about it like maybe a 15-year kind of time span, that how you go and pivot. And the cost of Eric say, the reskilling, right? You have to keep learning, go back to school and learn new courses, new techniques, new ideas, new technology to be able to move on. That's will be what I advise.
So for me, something that changed, I guess, a few years into my career was the option of working overseas. So after 3 years at KPMG, all of a sudden I got a call from a headhunter in Hong Kong. And the headhunter just placed my ex-colleague in a job in Hong Kong, and then my ex-colleague just recommended me as the next candidate to interview, right? So at point, I was just trying out, oh no, I'll never get an interview, I'll never get through the job. But 2 days later, I got a job offer after 2 interviews online. And
your friend love good words in you.
Yeah,
must have him.
Yeah, I treat my friend nicely. Yeah, but when I decided to take the job offer after just 3 days after sending in the resume, I hadn't even been to Hong Kong before. I don't know any word of Cantonese. I have no idea what Hong Kong is like, right? But then I decided to go for it. I think it really changed. The experience is great. I mean, of course, Hong Kong work-life balance was worse, and living conditions were cramped and everything. But I would say that definitely the 3 years in living in Hong Kong, working in Hong Kong, dealing a lot of Chinese corporates clients, definitely changed my perspective on the industry and even my life, right? So a very different life experience working there. So I think it shaped a lot of my experience. And even personal context, right? Right now, I still keep close contact with my friends in Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong City, one of my intern was Ethan Lin. He's the founder of Klook. And now he's worth hundreds of millions, right? So I think that sort of gives you an idea, hey, maybe you can get to know different people when you're in different countries. And so I would encourage undergrads, maybe after a couple of years of working, right, try to go overseas. Or even if your first job is overseas, go for it, right? You never know what that might bring you. It will give you a different life experience. And maybe, who knows, you might be so happy working overseas that you might not even come back to Singapore, which is fine. Absolutely fine, right? Just know that the world is out there and you're not stuck in tiny Singapore. So I think that's something that really changed my life.
So do you still get promo codes from Ethan?
Hey, yeah, I must ask him for it. Yeah, but we used to go karaoke together and sing songs and all that, and drinks and all that. So it was fun times.
Yeah. So when you mention there isn't work-life balance, like how bad it is?
In City Investment Bank, on average, I went home about 2 a.m. at night. In the morning, I start work at 9. That's Mondays to Fridays. Saturdays, I work till about midnight. Sundays, I work till about 6 p.m. So I get Sunday nights off, which is not too bad, I think.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, when I go home at 2 a.m., I think my friend at Morgan Stanley was going home at 3, 4 a.m. every morning, every day. Yeah, so that's so whoever was interested in investment banking before, after they heard my life, they are not interested anymore.
Yeah, but how Irene mentioned just now.
Yeah.
Once you step into the law firm, maybe you think about the calling again.
Yeah. But even so, many people are still, they know about the work-life balance and still want to go in. I think it does offer very great exposure. It's just you cannot survive too long in it. I think that's my personal view, right? Of course, there are bankers who have been in this line for 20, 30 years, right? And I really admire their perseverance. But to me, it just burns you out. So that's why after about 10 years in B, I left the sector. When I applied for the job in Hong Kong, one of the questions that was asked, of course, I think they meant it as a joke, but towards the end part of the interviews, the associate will ask, so how well can you drink? Because a lot of our clients were Chinese corporates looking for H shares listing on Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and drinking baijiu is part of it, part of the work, right? So baijiu is 70% alcohol. So if you are not good at drinking, it's difficult to build rapport with the clients and all. So every client meeting afterwards, there will always be drinks and things like that. So in hindsight, that question was asked maybe not as a joke, but really they really meant it, right? So that was one of the weird things that I would say.
Field that I'm in, that's the first question they ask. Can you drink? Straightforward. Yeah. But I think part of it is because the role that I'm going for is more sales role. So that's why that's the first question they ask. But of course, they also ask other like the so-called your technical skills, your soft skills. But the first question they ask is like, can you drink? Yeah. And after which, it also make the interview more lighthearted because we are really here to work as a colleague. Yeah.
For me, the unexpected question was they give me a scenario of a conflict situation in like a case study. And they say, if you were there, how would you handle it? How do you handle working in a company that is very chaotic and also basically a lot of high turnover or something like that? And I didn't expect that the employer would be so welcoming to ask me that question. But in the end, of course, I share examples about how I handle this kind of challenging situations. And in the case of like chaos, if you're a mother, you know what is chaos when you have 2 kids at home. Real chaos. Do you have kids?
3.
Yeah. So it's really chaos. Stress management. I think my so-called motherhood skills brought into play. How to handle chaos, how to handle ambiguity, how to handle the stress of your children, their schoolwork, and then how do you mentor them, how do you bring them up. So these are things that it's a mother. I mean, every woman can be a mother, but how you handle all these challenges also show your characteristics and your traits, how you handle challenges, how you handle difficulties, how you overcome it, and what is your overall inclinations, right? Will you get along with the chaos, or can you step out of it and be very calm and collected and try to put things together? I would really encourage mentorship. Even at my age right now, when I go into a new role, I always get mentors. I had when I started out in volunteering in charity boards, I was assigned a mentor, and up till now we are still very good friends. And then I went into learning public speaking. I also assigned another mentor, and she was able to give me a lot of insights about how people perceive me, how I can become better, how I should communicate with people. So I feel that in the whole journey, right, mentorship is really a very, very valuable experience. And I really believe in that. And I'm also doing mentorship in SID right now, Singapore Institute of Directors, trying to mentor new directors. I think really try to capitalize on mentorship.
My word would be explore. I think don't be closed off to different opportunities in different sectors or different countries, right? Because you never know what it will bring. Especially as an undergrad, this is a time to experiment, to know exactly what you want. To know, most people don't know exactly what they want. So take the chance now while you're still studying. People are more forgiving. You can make mistakes as an intern. You can't make mistakes as a full-time employee, right? So take the chance to go and try different things, and not only just internships, but even all the hustles that nowadays the undergrads have, right? You could be a DJ, you could be something else, right? Go and try it. Maybe it could be your full-time. It could be a full-time job in future. You never know, right? Even influencers, right? So I think so the word is explore. Don't be afraid to explore. Yeah.
Kind of hard to find a word, but maybe at this stage of my life, I would say reflect. Reflect in the things that you are doing. Maybe even if just day to day, reflect on what you are doing, why you are doing. And through this reflection is where growth happens. So if you ask me at this moment, I would say reflect.
I think there's quite three important words that at least I have taken away amongst many other juicy information as well as useful tips that I will bring myself to my next internship or my next prospective employer with me. That comes to the end of our podcast. Firstly, I want to once again thank you, Loon, thank you Irene, thank you Eric for spending your evening with us today to share more about information that will really benefit us as NUS BB undergraduates. In that sense, we have actually come to the end of Alumni Spotlight. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Thank you.